this lecture, we'll be exploring a very simple Hello World example using crank.js. The first thing that we need to do when you are inside the code directory, you can go ahead and initialize npm init and press enter. This is going to create a package.json file. So here you can give it a name like crank intro, press enter. Then version you can leave it as is, description, introduction to crank, press enter. Entry point is index.js file, fine. Test command you can leave it, and git repository as well. Keywords for now leave author as well and license as well, and press yes. Now this has created the package.json file. Once we have the package.json file, the next thing that we need to do is add dependency for crank, and that we can do by running this command npm install bike shaving /crank. Press enter. Once that's done, we'll also need a bundler. So for that we'll have to use a parcel bundler, and that we can do using npm install parcel bundler as dev dependency. Now once that's added, we'll go to our package.json file, and inside that file where we have this script tag, we'll be adding a couple of tags over here for parser bundler. So we have dev and build, and press save now, and just save this now. Once that's done, you can close this file for now. And the next thing that we need to do is create a directory. Let's create it over here, name it as src, and inside that we'll have our JSX component file defined. So we'll be naming it as, let's say, index.js, and inside that we'll have our first component created. To do that, we'll be importing the renderer from the crank DOM, and then this is what we are trying to write: hello world document.body. Let's save this now, and after this we'll also need to create one HTML file. So we'll create the index.html file, and this file will have the following content. Let's save this. So we have introduction to crank, and then we have this src index.js file which is right inside this directory. And once that's done, save it and install one more dependency, and that will be npm install babel preset crank. So babel preset crank, and this will be a dev dependency, so --dev. Let's press enter now. And once we have done this, another thing that we need to do is create one more file, and that file will be .babelrc. So we'll say babelrc, press enter, and inside this we will have to write this presets crank. Once that's done, now there's a typo, so we have to have the command start over here, and then we'll say parcel index.html --open. So that's one tweak that you need to make. And now let's go ahead and type npm start, press enter, and here you can see it has started the application on this localhost 1234. Currently it's installing all these things, installing Babel core, and once the installation is complete, it will auto launch the browser. That's why the --open tag is there, which will open up the browser window automatically. And as soon as this gets done, the browser window will be opened, and here you can see the hello world coming up. In the next lecture, we'll see how we can create a component, a very simple component. This one that we explored just now is the raw implementation of a component. So you can see everything, the div ID and everything is mentioned over here. In the next one, we'll be taking this out and we'll be building a complete simple component, and that will be rendered using the renderer.render method. That will be coming up in the next lecture.